Thank you very much for staying on the program. Now, the Ghana Medical Association has given the Ministry of Health a one-week ultimatum to provide its members with better service conditions. The association is threatening that if the ministry fails to meet this deadline, its members will resign en masse. The GMA says it will take to the streets on Republic Day to protest the poor service conditions. Dr. Ernest York is the chairman of the Greater Accra branch of the GMA.
I'm sure you've been hearing in the media about our conditions of service. Doctors and other health professionals in the health service have never had a conditions of service document that they ascribe to, and we thought that this is the time to call for it. We did that several years ago. We were close to signing one, but at the advent of the single spine pay policy that was scuttled, we were told that certain aspects of the conditions of service document will be found in the single spine pay policy, and therefore we should hold on. We held on several years after nothing has happened, and we thought that this is a time to demand it. We've done that at our AGC, Annual General Conference, last year in Cape Coast, in Takoradi to be precise, and gave an 8-month ultimatum that come June 30th, if we don't have any condition of service document, we would advise ourselves. The next day, we will make a protest. We will protest, and whatever form that will take, we will let everybody know. There were suggestions, yes, and that included, yes, resignation, yes, going on strike, yes, a vigil, wearing red armbands, and all these things will be put in the pot period of considerations that the National Council will take. And I can tell you this process started not less than 10 years ago with some of Labour, Osengame as a consultant. We nearly came to sign a document, but they scuttled it. There is a deliberate attempt to scuttle us. But let everybody be aware that this time we are not going back on our way.
Now, with the rains in, the possibility of a cholera outbreak is imminent, especially as most places in Accra still have mounds of fields from the floods heaped all over. There have so far been hundreds of cases, with 5 deaths recorded, with all indicators suggesting another outbreak. And Aldame has been visiting some hospitals to find out how prepared these health facilities are.
The Mamobi Hospital appears quite well prepared, but it is yet to have a confirmed cholera case. 7 residents from Ayawaso Central, the hospital has made room for 20 beds and a shed outside its cholera unit. The situation at the Adabraka Polyclinic was peculiar because the cholera unit, which also has room for 20 patients, has been left to rot just 3 years after its construction. A little over a month ago, I was here to find out at Adabraka Polyclinic's preparedness for any state of cholera outbreak whatsoever. I'm back here today, and as you can see, nothing has changed. The tents are the same, no refurbishments whatsoever. The beds are all torn, and the wooden structures here are so dilapidated it can't be used. And so what the hospital has to do is to improvise, because they also serve the whole of Usuklote district. They have converted some of their rooms into OPDs, and the general OPD has now been turned or converted into a cholera unit. Hospital Administrator Dr. Yao Edusipuku says the AMA and NADMO are responsible for the unit.
We wish we had cholera tents all over the place, male, female, but we don't have.
You used to have a cholera unit, which was the tent that could take about 20 patients, if I remember, but now it's in shambles. When are we going to see it's being repaired?
I think this question must go to the Accra Metropolitan Authority. Those tents were put up not by us, but in collaboration with NADMO and AMA. Okay, so we need your help.
So Dr. Edusipoku tells us that the AMA, NADMO and other organizations will have to answer for why the cholera unit in his facility is still in shambles. And that's why I have come here to see the director of the Metro Public Health, Dr. Ebenezer Boateng.
Yes, I'm aware of the situation in Adabraka Polyclinic, and AMA is doing everything possible to make sure that we fix the problem there. Yes, we have sent, the engineers to assess the situation, and they are working on it. The AMA has received the request, and AMA is working seriously on it, and if I can only tell you that it is receiving serious attention, and it will be fixed.
The Odona Clinic, situated near the incident of the fire and flood disaster, is also a casualty of the flood. They have no cholera isolation center and have not recorded any case yet. The director at the facility, Dr. Felix Frimpong, says they are well positioned to handle cases that will troop in.
We are in a very prone zone. We are actually in the flood zone. With a lot of population, a lot of food vendors. So we are on the preparedness to attend to anybody we suspect may have cholera, but we have not recorded any cases.
So do you have an isolation center in this facility to care for cholera patients? Do you record any?
We do see diarrhea cases, and you treat the patient clinically. We will isolate the patient. We will resuscitate the patient, but we may transfer the patient depending on how the patient responds.
Meanwhile, health authorities are continuing to urge residents in the city to practice proper hygiene, as that will minimize any chance of a cholera outbreak. For Joy News, I am Hannah Odami.
The Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has launched a fund to raise 50 million Ghana cedis to fully restock the central medical store that was razed down by fire last year, presenting medical supplies and cash to the Ghana Health Service for the restock. President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, James Ohimenche, announced some collaborative efforts they have embarked on. I'll bring you that story in the course of the broadcast. We apologize for the lack of audio. Now, a group of old men and women in Kumasi describing themselves as senior citizens are demonstrating in the Garden City of the Ashanti region. The senior citizens are upbeat about the prevailing economic hardships and unending power crisis, which has crippled a lot of businesses, among other issues. I'm joined over the telephone by Erastus Asare Donko, who is on the ground for us. We put in efforts to raise Erastus Asare-Danko over the telephone. When we do get him, we would bring you the conversation as far as the latest, as far as what the latest on the ground is. But on your screen are some pictures of these old men and women who've decided to hit the streets to protest the current economic situation in the country, clad in red and black, obviously to signify their frustration. Erastus is over the telephone now. Hello, Erastus.
Yes.
Now, what is happening now?
Well, these are a group of aged people, men and women, between the ages of 60 and 80, who are protesting the effects of the power crisis. Now, they are saying that the livelihoods of their breadwinners and future leaders, their children, their grandsons, are being affected greatly. And so it is affecting them because they are not being catered for now. And so they want the government to do something about it, and they want it now. So they are numbering about, let's say, 30. But these are very old people on the streets of Kumasi protesting this. Let me try and speak with one of them. Hello, mother. Good morning. Welcome to Joy News. What can you tell us about this demonstration?
Oh, I can tell you about the demonstration. Let me say it. I'm running for prayer. We are trying. So we want to do the demonstration because of Dumso, and because of our child, children and grandchildren, when they are going to do their test, then they cancel the test. And nowadays, every day when we are saying, Dramani want to increase something, he used to do it on Sunday. Sunday, because everybody is going to church, or everybody is in the house. He won't consult anybody. Then nowadays, we can't pay lorry fare. Lorry fare has been increased. That's why when we started, we are 5. Mame Sewa, Auntie Bremo, Efie Sapo, Ata, Mr. Boatin. Then we start down to plan for this demonstration. What do you want government to do? We want government to listen our problem, because this is killing us. And the board has accepted. When last time the disaster done in Accra, we haven't had this thing before, fire and water. But this thing has come. So the Dramani must change his or her mind. He and the cabinet, ministers, and MPs, everybody, Mrs. Lodina, and everybody should think of us. Because we are dying in Ghana. My name is Efia Mpremo.
How are you?
72.
Hello, Rastus.
Okay, so you had...
Rastus, just before you let Efia go, I just have a question. A question. In a part of the world where we believe so much in the prayer of the aged, why wouldn't they spend time praying for the nation, and reserve the strength they have left in this stage of their lives, but rather want to spend it on demonstrating in Kumasi?
Young people who can do this kind of thing or come on the street, why don't you spend the time in praying and leave this kind of job to the youth? Youth have done their own before. Teachers have done it, nurses have done it, doctors have done it, pensioners have done it, workers have done it. Now it has reached our time, because we told the government all these things. He doesn't want to listen to us. That's why we come today. If he doesn't listen to us, we'll be naked. All of us, will be naked and marched to Dublin. And even they don't call Dublin. You can do that. You'll be naked. I can do it. Even now, I can do it. Even now, I can do it. Yes. Even now, you can do it.
Well, so you heard her. If government doesn't listen to them, they will be naked.
I did. But Erastus, what sort of attention is this demonstration getting in Kumasi?
Well, a number of people are peeping out of their shops. They are a bit surprised that people as old as that will be on the streets. And in fact, I am even surprised that they've been able to walk from the cultural center. It's a long distance. We are now at the labor area, and they've been able to walk this distance, and they are still continuing to the Jubilee Park. So there are a number of people who are peeping to join, to watch, and they are surprised as to why the aged will join this. But then they are all commending them that they have taken this move.
Very well, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much, Erastus. Erastus Asare Donko joined us from Kumasi, where a group of old men and women, senior citizens of the country, have hit the streets in protest of what they describe as economic hardships in Ghana. Now, back in the capital city, the mayor of Accra has resolved to carry through with the planned demolition of a section of old Fadama slum here in Accra, despite serious objections and confrontation from both the residents and key figures in the governing National Democratic Congress. The residents have, over the past few days, staged sporadic protests in the city, including a raid on Parliament House, during which properties were vandalized. A high-powered meeting yesterday between the Deputy Local Government Minister, regional ministers, as well as the Accra Mayor and the National Disaster Management Organization on the subject was, however, disrupted when angry party supporters led by the Yodododio Constituency Secretary confronted the mayor. They accused him of being insensitive and acting against the interest of the NDC. Their worry is that the demolitions will cost the NDC to lose the 2016 elections.
Chief, don't do anything. If you want me to spoil this, don't talk to anybody. I want to die. You will die. I will die.
Mohammed.
I have been a bullet.
Mohammed.
They are still there doing it. You see, we are receiving calls. Good.
Mohammed, he has called him. He has called him. Let's go. I want to drive.
Chief, don't do anything. If you want me to spoil this, don't talk to anybody. Go.
We are not reducing.
You can hear me shouting there. He has no human face. That's all.
Why?
He doesn't feel
this man?
The mayor of Accra is not having human feelings.
Why are you saying that?
Yes, he doesn't look. Now he's regretted.
Yeah, has he regretted demolishing the
He has never regretted the way we put issues on him. He has regretted of doing it. Now you are looking for a way forward to send the people back to home.
To send them back to their
hometown.
Now, Joy News' Michaela Anderson encountered a situation where Deputy Local Government Minister Neelanti Vanderpoel, who is also the Member of Parliament for the area, attempted to halt the exercise in the wake of the protest by the NDC executives, which you just saw.
Had a meeting, a follow-up meeting. I, the Deputy Regional Minister, the Mayor, NADMO, and others. We've had a follow-up meeting to the meeting yesterday. We agreed on some things. One of the basic issues we agreed is that those who have willingly decided to go back, we're going to make transportation available to them. We're going to make some little support available to them so that they will go back. We've organized already. We're getting some buses that are available. We are asking the executive to get in there and get those people ready, and then they will get back. Two, for those who do not want to go back, but they are affected, they are the women and children. We are working out an arrangement together, the mayor, the regional coordinating council, NADMO, and we are working an arrangement for them. For now, we are resolving. We are trying to see, and then the third one has to do with the scope. We've agreed on the scope of work to be done because they agreed on 100 meters on both sides of the poly. Apparently, they are claiming the AMA has gone beyond the 100 meters, but we've decided, we've talked. So the mayor is going there with the executive now. We are all going to the side now to look at what has to be done, and then we'll try and make sure we stay within the boundaries of the 100 meters on both sides as have been agreed. I think it's been a good discussion. It's good we've had a discussion so that we'll know what to do. We'll take it from there.
But the Accra mayor is, however, refusing to back down. In an exclusive interview with Joy News, Alfred Vanderpoel announced plans to sponsor a mass evacuation for residents of Old Fadama who wish to return to their home regions.
Going so well, we are achieving the objective. The objective being that We know that over the years, we've had families, we've had people who have created land out of the existence of the Koli by filling it with sawdust and sand and built on it and living on it. The time has come for that situation to change, because that situation is not helping anybody. June 3rd drew our attention strongly and affirmed what we have always believed, that we need to change that situation. That if we didn't change it, one day, either it will rain and rain very extensively, that the people living on the Koli, living on sawdust, will be washed away. Or that situation will exist, the Koli will not have a waterway into the ocean, and people inland will be swept away. Both scenarios are not good for anybody.
Very well. We heard from the Deputy Local Government Minister yesterday. He mentioned that there was an agreed plan in terms of the barriers where in terms of the demolition exercise, and it seems you went beyond those agreed terms with the leaders here.
No, look, we have been meeting with the elders of this community for over 4 years. You know, I've been a mayor for 7 years. We've been meeting with them 4 or 5 years. And every day we have maintained that we will work with it up to 100 meters. But look, when we came in and we started working, we realized that the 100 meters was stopping in the middle of the Koli. When you look at the edge over here and the edge on that side, we are almost close to the 100 meters. But look at where we are. That's what you are seeing. You are seeing that the machine itself is sinking. Meters away from that, it's all sawdust. So intelligently, you could not stop at that 100 meters. And that's why I called the elders Sunday morning. And I said, look, the 100 meters is exceeded. So we have to go beyond that.
What's the plan to ensure that these residents who've been rendered homeless now do not rebuild?
Well, I know that they said that they have the intention of rebuilding again. But having done this extensive demolition, and we are still within the, within the Koli Lagoon, there is no way we will allow anybody to come back. That would never happen. You understand? That we have so many.
Now, the Finance Ministry has revealed that a decision on how to settle the controversial 197 million Ghana cedi judgment debt to IT firm Bank Switch has not been established. In a statement Tuesday evening, the Finance Ministry explained Cabinet is yet to approve proposals on the best ways to settle the judgment debt against the state. Meanwhile, the Trade Ministry had already gone ahead to seek assistance from 6 destination companies to help it defray the debt. Now, I'm joined in the studio by my colleague Inshira Ado. He's going to take us through the statement, help us understand what this means, this latest development means for the back and forth with defraying that judgment. Inshira, what's in the statement?
Well, let me just quickly read this. It's a statement which is in reaction to Dr. Anthony Akoto's claim that government had signed a new contract with Bank Switch post the judgment debt. Now, the statement was issued last night, and says Tuesday, 23rd of June, 2015, the attention of the Ministry of Finance has been drawn to media reports and Government of Ghana having concluded a contract with Bank Switch Ghana Limited. Number 2, the ministry wishes to emphatically state that this information is not true. And the third part says, after the Permanent Court of Arbitration's ruling against Ghana, which awarded a cost of 197 million Ghana cedis, cost of an illegal cost of $4.5 million US against government engaged Bank Switch Ghana Limited to seek ways which will be beneficial to government to pay the judgment debt. Now, it goes on to say that the government team made up of officials from the Attorney General's Department, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ghana Revenue Authority have been holding meetings to negotiate this settlement. And the committee has come out with proposals which are yet to be approved by Cabinet. And it finally says government will take a decision which will be beneficial to the country while respecting the rule of law.
Now, this contradicts two things we have heard. First, what Dr. Akoto said, yeah, and what Dr. Ekospi Gabra himself has also been doing. Let's start off with Dr. Akoto. How is this different, or how does this contradict what he's told us?
Well, unless he has anything else to counter this claim by the Ministry of Finance, it suggests that his statement was incorrect.
Now, he mentioned that we had gone ahead to sign a contract. Yeah. Give us an understanding of that.
Well, what I have seen is a draft contract from the 3rd of December 2014, which was essentially awarding a contract to Bank Switch to handle up to 0.35% of all FOB values on imports in Ghana for 5 years. Now, that supposedly was part of the deal to settle the judgment debt. Mm-hmm. So instead of paying interest on the payment, the deal was that, okay, well, we're not going to pay just this judgment debt, but we're going to give these guys some work to do, mm-hmm, so that we didn't end up paying them monies for work not done. Okay, this is the reasoning behind that. But clearly, that contract, per what the Ministry of Finance is saying, has not been signed.
More worrying is the fact that this puts the Trade Minister, Dr. Ekospi Gabra, in a very bad light.
Well, it puts him in a very doubtful position. I think that it suggests that the ministry, through his actions, is acting in, a unilateral mode, and that they're taking this decision to recoup or to pay monies, raise money to pay for the judgment debt, when indeed Cabinet has not approved this. Now, a lot of questions were raised, including Dr. Akoto himself raising that he had breached the rules governing the Procurement Act, specifically the rules on selective tendering. Now, it's a very, very murky, but if you go back to this, one can infer that there is a certain power play going on here, because the contract between GCNet, which is the current single window contract, was signed under the auspices of the Ministry of Trade. Mm. Now, the Bank Switch deal is, or supposedly is, being negotiated under the auspices of the Ministry of Finance. Now, it's trade facilitation, but for revenue collection. Mm-hmm. So you have the purse keeper, which is the Ministry of Finance, and then you've got the Trade Ministry, who has direct oversight for trade facilitation, thinking that, okay, well, we need to have control over where the money comes from. So it is understandable to infer that the move to ask for the DICs to express interest to raise a $35 million fee to pay off this is to continue to keep the control in the ambit of the Ministry of Trade.
But I'm more worried because Dr. Ekospi Gabra was sure he wasn't breaking any rule at all. So to have the Finance Ministry come out and say that, look, we haven't concluded on any decision whatsoever to pay off this debt with Bank Switch, I wonder what his response will be now. Maybe he'll be thinking along the same lines as you are right now.
Well, it's a tricky thing to guess what he will be thinking. But one thing is for sure, that he was probably acting from a really good place and thought that he was being creative to fix the problem. But the story will still be told.
Inshira, thank you very much for joining us here. Inshira Do is head of talk here at Joy News. But we can get over the telephone now and speak with Dr. Akoto Osei. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, with the Finance Ministry coming out with this statement, tell me what you think about it.
I'm not in Ghana, so I'm not aware of it.
You haven't seen it. Now, the Finance Ministry has come out to emphatically state that it has not signed any contract with Bank Switch as far as defraying this judgment debt is concerned.
It has not. No, it is not true. There's a letter signed by Ms. Monacote, and payments have been made. At least one payment has been made. It cannot be the case.
So what do we make of...
You're talking about the Bank Switch.
What do we make of this latest development? Because then, if no contract,
I'm not in Ghana, and I'm in London right now. But are you saying the Finance Ministry is saying that they have not paid Bank Switch as part of the new negotiated settlement?
Well, the statement says that no decision has been reached. The proposals on how to settle this debt is still at the cabinet level.
It is not true. I mean, the proposal, a letter has been signed by Mrs. Monacote, and the payment has been made to Bank Switch on that particular new arrangement. And you can call Bank Switch to find out whether or not they have received. Maybe what the ministry is saying is that in terms of the new contract for 5 years, they have not gone past cabinet, but not with respect to the payment. There are two components of that agreement, financial inducement and the contract. That financial inducement has been partially fulfilled, but the contract has not. Maybe that's what they mean. So let's get clarification from them. But if they say that they have not satisfied part of the new agreement, that would be not true.
Okay, so with this development, what do you then make of the Trade Minister's position on this?
I've always maintained that the Trade Ministry's position is not tenable. That's my position. In fact, I'm even told that the statement that has come out is suggesting that Cabinet has not taken the final decision on the contractual arrangement with Bank Switch. That is why I was surprised that the Trade Minister would have written that letter, because a payment has been made to Bank Switch to satisfy part of the new agreement. And get this, the new agreement is of two components. The financial part, which is about 197-something million with interest, and the new contract for Bank Switch to carry on its task.
That new contract is what the Finance Ministry is saying it hasn't signed with Bank Switch.
Yeah. Oh, that one, it will be okay. But I'm saying it is part of their negotiated agreement. So they are admitting that there is a negotiated agreement. The fact that it has not been signed does not mean that there's no agreement. So that confirms what I've been saying. So if that kind of agreement is there, negotiated, why would a trade ministry, as it were, auction an agreement that is about to be signed? That is the part that I don't understand.
Very well, thank you very much, Dr. Akotose. Dr. Anthony Akotose is minority spokesperson on finance. We can do some business stories after this. Don't go away.